Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Om Shanti 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 Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Hari Om. We are discussing the topic of Atma, and the question that was posed is, where is this Atma? That question was asked, and it was said, Atraiva Satvatmani Dhiguhayam Avyakrita Akasha Ushat Prakasha Akasha Uchchai Ravivat Prakashate Swatejasa Vishwamidam Prakashayat. It was said it is there in the body, in the cave of the human intellect only, that Atma is, that self-effulgent Atma, it illumines everything. Just like how the sun is up there in the sky and it illumines everything. In the same way, Atma illumines everything. Jnata manoham kriti vikriyanam dehendriya pranakrita kriyanam ayognivat tan anuvartamanaha na cheshtate na vikaroti kinchana. It does all that not actively, but in its presence, everything gets illumined. Just as the fire which doesn't have a shape, it doesn't have a form, but when it is in contact with a piece of iron, and when that iron gets really red hot, the fire seems to have taken that shape. So similarly, in that process, Atma itself, na jayate, no mriyate, na vardate, na kshiyate, na vikaroti, nityah viliyamane api vapusyamushmin, na liyate kumbha ivambaram swayam. Atma does not undergo any change. Just like when the part is broken, destroyed, the part space is not destroyed, only the part is destroyed, that's all. So we have seen up to this so far, and we continue today with verse 135. Prakriti Vikriti Binna Shuddha Bodha Swabhavaha. Prakriti Vikriti Binna Shuddha Bodha Swabhavaha. Sada Sadidam Ashesham Bhasayan Nirvisheshaha. Sada Sadidam Ashesham Bhasayan Nirvisheshaha. विलसति परमात्मा जाग्रदादिष्पवस्थासु विलसि परमात्मा जाग्रदादिष्प अहमिति साक्षात् साक्षिरूपेण बुद्धेः अहमहमिति साक्षात् साक्षिरूपेण बुद्धेः प्रकृति विकृति भिन्न शुद्ध बोध स्वभावः सदसदिदमशेषं भासयन् निर्विशेषः विलसति परमात्मा जाग्रदादिष्पवस्थासु अहमहमिति साक्षात् साक्षिरूपेण बुद्धेः. So Shankaracharya brings in the witness nature of Atma in this verse. And this is very important. We need to clearly understand this nature of Atma. This Atma is very evident all the time. Every one of my experience proves the presence of consciousness as a witness. Just as I've given this example many, many times, when you see a photograph, that proves the presence of the camera. Even though I do not see the camera in any particular picture, when you see the picture, you know that camera should have been there to have taken that picture. So we never doubt the existence of a camera. Every picture makes the camera evident. Every experience, both external and internal. When we deal with, transact with objects outside or internal thoughts, internal experience or external experiences. Your thoughts, emotions, internal. In your interactions, people, things, external. In all those experiences, it is evident. Look at the third line, Paramatma. We'll take that word first. Paramatma, the Supreme Self. Its real nature is what? Prakriti Vikriti Bhinnaha. Each word is very significant in this very significant word. Prakriti means Karanam, the cause. Vikriti means Karyam, the effect. When we use the word Karanam, we mean the material cause. So Prakriti word is used to convey the material cause. The root material cause is Maya. We've seen this. material cause of creation is Maya. And therefore, Prakriti can be taken as the basic matter principle of Maya. Matter is called Prakriti, and Vikriti means what all have come out of that Prakriti. All the modifications, all the effects, products of Prakriti. So they both, Prakriti and Vikriti, are the two stages or the conditions of matter. So then, what about consciousness? Under which category should we put consciousness in? So he says it is Prakriti, Vikriti, Bhinnaha. Something different from Prakriti and Vikriti. It is neither the basic causal matter nor the manifested universe, not the evolved universe. Neither one. It is not Prakriti, it is not Vikriti. Then what is it? So he explains it as it is the witness, the illuminator of both of them. So Prakriti modifies to become Vikriti. Therefore, Prakriti is savikaram, subject to changes, subject to modifications. That is Prakriti. And Vikriti also is savikaram. All those things that we see in the world, which is the effect, it keeps on changing. So that is also subject to changes, savikar. Contrast that with consciousness, which is nirvikaram. Therefore, nirvikara consciousness is different from savikara prakriti and savikara vikruti. So the same from the individual standpoint. When I talk about Maya and the universe, etc., it's a total. Even at the individual level, Prakriti is Karana Shariram, causal body, and Vikriti is Karya Shariram, Sukshma and Sthula Shariram. Prakriti is causal body, Vikriti is subtle and gross bodies. So Prakriti, Vikriti, Bhinnaha means Karana Sukshma Sthula Sharira Bhinnaha, something different from the causal body or the subtle body or the gross body, something different from all that. So from this it is very clear that Shastra does not look at consciousness as a product of matter. It's not a product of the body. If it were, then consciousness will come under Vikriti, a product. It is not. So Shastra does not present consciousness as Prakriti or Vikriti. So neither cause nor effect. In short, if it is not matter, matter comes under cause and effect, that cause-effect continuum. If it is not cause or effect, if it is not matter, what is it? So he says it is Shuddha Bodha Swabhavaha. It's of the nature of pure consciousness. Shuddha Bodha. Since it does not fall under matter, it is not subject to any laws of matter. All the scientific laws that we have discovered, all those are applicable to matter only. And you cannot apply that to consciousness. And what does it do? Sadasat idam ashesham bhasayan. It illumines. Sat, asat, different from matter, and it is the illuminator of matter. What type of matter is that? Sat and asat. Here we have to be careful. Sat means gross matter. Because the word sat, we use in different meanings. According to the context, you must take the right meaning. In some contexts, sat is translated as pure existence. When we say Sat Chit Ananda, there Sat means existence. Okay? So you just have to be very careful. Here the word Sat should be translated as gross matter. And Asat means subtle matter. Something that is different from the gross and the subtle. So Sat is Murta Prapancha, world with forms. And Asat means Amurta Prapancha, the world without forms. This definition is given in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There is a section in it called Murta Amurta Brahmanam. There, this word Sat is used in the sense of Murta Prapancha, the world with forms. At the individual level, Murta Prapancha can be taken as the Stula Sharir, the gross body. And Amurta Prapancha can be taken as Sukshma Karana Sharir, the subtle and causal bodies. So all these forms of matter, Ashesham, without any remainder, without any exception, Bhasayan, illumines. Consciousness illumines all this matter. Again, remember, the illumination, it is not an action. In the presence of consciousness, everything is to be known. Nirvishesha, it is absolutely free of any vishesha, any gunas. Attributeless, propertyless. Nirvishesha, free of any gunas. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad defines consciousness as astulam ananu, ahrasvam adirgam, so many. Anantaram, abhayanam, abhakyam. The prefix negates one feature. We've seen this definition in Mundaka Upanishad. We have seen it in Atma Bodha, many places. The Upanishad takes each feature that we experience and it says, it is not. It is not this, it is not this, it's not this, something other than all of them. That is what is said here, nirvishesha. Such a Paramatma vilasati, shines. And we ask, if it is utterly, propertyless, nirvishesha, featureless, how do you know it exists? We know everything in this world through their properties and all that. In high school and all that, when we started studying sciences, physics or chemistry, we always talk about physical properties, chemical properties, this, that, and whatnot. That is how we have always learned about things. If this one has no properties, how do you know it is there at all? Maybe a big bluff that you are dishing out. Biggest imagination. There are some people who say that. Therefore, Shankaracharya says, it's one thing which proves everything. It is consciousness that proves everything. And the prover of everything does not need a proof. Something that proves everything itself needs a proof. Then you need to bring in another prover. And then how do you prove that? Yet another one. There will be no end to it. In logic, it is called, it's a fallacy of infinite regress. Therefore, there must be one ultimate thing which proves everything, proving itself. There must be something ultimate which proves itself and proves other things also. That self-proving other prover is called consciousness. So it is called Swata Siddha, Swaprakasha. And it's also called Vilasati. That Paramatma shines self-evidently. It is self-shining. Shines, proving itself. Vilasati Swayam Prakashate. It shines without requiring any proof. So that Paramatma shines Jagradadishu Avastasu. Jagrad Adi. Waking, etc. In all states of experiences. Waking, dream, deep sleep. In all these three states, it shines. Even when the states change, from waking to dream to deep sleep, this doesn't change. And in those various states, the time scale itself changes. All the events in our waking state, there is a time scale. We are very cognizant of that. But when events, that's a totally different time scale. A typical dream is supposed to last about 90 seconds on a waking time scale. In that 90 seconds, I tell you what all you have accomplished. You finish your education, you got a job, you got married, had children, who got married, and you got grandchildren, all that happens. 90 seconds. Patafat. And in deep sleep, you have no clue about time. Time is not even there. You figure out that you slept for X number of hours only, you have to do a math. I went to sleep at 10 p.m. I got up at 6 p.m. So I should have slept for 8 hours. Why you are asleep? No clue. So now consciousness illumines the arrival of waking time and its departure. It illumines the arrival of dream, time series, and its departure. And in deep sleep, it illumines the timelessness also. So how can that consciousness be within time? So the illuminator of the time cannot be in time. Can never be within time. And extend this to space also. The waker space and the dreamer space. So consciousness cannot be within either space. Because the space also, waker space appears, disappears. Dream space appears, disappears. Consciousness illumines all of them. So therefore, Jagradadishu, in all states of experiences, aham aham iti vilasati. It shines as I. I am aware of the external world. I am aware of all the feelings and emotions internally. I am aware of the blank mind also, in the form of I. I need not say I am aware of it. The very fact that I am talking about it shows that I'm aware of it. I am the witness of whatever I talk about. Therefore, I am the awarer. I am the experiencer. I am the subject, the original subject, the fundamental subject. In Sanskrit, the subject word is translated as aham, aham, aham iti, as the very subject, I, the very self. And as that very self, consciousness is available. Therefore, aham, aham iti vilasati, in the form of I, consciousness shines. How? Sakshat. It shines immediately. The word immediately, does it mean quickly? No, not in that. It's not time. Immediately means without a medium. Special meaning is without requiring any medium of instrument. So immediately means without any medium like the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, pratyaksha, anumana, nothing, no means is required. You need to see an object. You need the eyes to see it. To hear the sound, you need the ears. For you to say I, do you need any instrument? I is known to you all the time. Therefore, you don't need any medium. Even when the thought is not there, consciousness is evident as an illuminator of the thoughtless state of the mind. So this is called Sakshat Vilasati. It's immediately without any medium. So the moment you say it needs a medium, then when the medium is not there, consciousness cannot be there. It's there always, so it doesn't need a medium. It's able to illumine the absence of medium also. Even thoughtlessness, senselessness, you can talk about because of consciousness. Therefore, sakshat vilasati. Again, buddhehe sakshi rupena vilasati. It shines as the witness, the illuminator of buddhi, intellect. Continuing, he concludes, verse 136. Niyamitamanasāmum tvam svamatmanamaatmani. Niyamitamanasāmum tvam svamatmanamaatmani. Ayamahamiti sakshat vidhi buddhe prasadat. Ayamahamiti sakshat vidhi buddhe prasadat. Jani marana taranga apara samsara sindhum. Jani marana taranga apara samsara sindhum. Pratara bhava kritarto brahma rupena samstah. Pratara bhava kritarto brahma rupena samstatah. Niyamita manasamam tvam swamatmanamatmani. Ayamahamiti sakshat vidhi buddhi prasadat. Jani marana taranga apara samsara sindhum. Pratara bhava kritarto brahma rupena samstatah. So in this verse, Bhashyakara concludes the Atma discussion. It started from verse 124 and concludes in this particular shloka. Remember, this Atma topic is the second of the 7 topics introduced in verse 49. Topic 1 is over, Anatma. Topic 2 is getting over with this verse. In this concluding shloka, what Shankaracharya says is, Atma Jnanam eva moksha sadhanam. Knowing the Atma alone, as described in these verses, that is way for freedom. That is the means to liberation. He also presents some conditions for Atma Jnanam, some preparatory steps or qualifications for Atma Jnana. Therefore, the contents of this verse are Atma Jnana Sadhanam, Atma Jnanam, and Atma Jnana Phalam. So these 3 topics are condensed in this verse. He says, if you want to get freedom from samsara, tvam vidhi, may you understand, may you know, amum tvam swam atmanam. May you know this Atma, which is your real nature. By using the word swam atmanam, the body is not yourself. It's like the shirt that you're wearing. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya. We've seen in the Gita. Just like the dress you're wearing. If it gets soiled, dirty, take it off and put on another shirt. Once you've used it enough, it's out of fashion or it's torn or what have you, you just throw it away. Don a new one. In the same way this body is. Same thing with mind. Mind is not yourself. It's a medium that you use for action and transaction. You are not the body, you are not the mind. The real you is amum atmanam, Atma of this description. This Atma means what has been described. The descriptions we have seen from verse 124 through 135. So this Atma, tvam vidhi, may you know. How should you know? Sakshat aparokshataya vidhi. You have to know it as yourself. Aparokshataya. Should be aparoksha jnanam, that Atma I am. Lot of discussions about Atma is that. We talk about it always in third person. But finally, it should be realized in the first person. I am that Atma. I have the body, I have the mind. I am not those. I am the Atma, I have a body. This aparoksha jnanam is sakshat jnanam. So, know that Atma, I am, aham iti sakshat vidhi. Recognize this Atma as aham asmi. Atma, I am. This consciousness, I am. This consciousness described previously. All the previous descriptions you must remember. It is free from vikaras, it's of the nature of Chaitanyam. Especially beautifully described in the verse that we have just seen, verse 135. Beyond causal matter, beyond the universe, illumines everything. All these descriptions you should remember and you should say, I am all that. Okay? Aham iti, aham asmi. That's the most important thing. This above described consciousness, I am. In this manner, you know the Atma, Sakshat, directly, aparokshataya vidhi. Do it, know it directly, immediately, as yourself. Immediately, in both meanings. Without any medium, don't postpone it, okay? In this birth itself, immediately, realize that as yourself. The first condition is, I am aham vidhi. This Atma I am. Then the second is, sakshat vidhi. Know it immediately, directly, aparokshataya. Then the third point is, niyamita manasa vidhi. With a mind which is disciplined, which does not have any impurities. Niyamita manasa. The mind should be disciplined, should be pure, should have chitta ekagrata. The mind has a lot of emotional baggage, emotional problems. Then it holds your intellect as a hostage. An emotionally disturbed mind will not let the intellect to function properly. It will rob its discrimination ability. The intellect will be free to do its job only when the emotional mind releases the intellect to do what it has to do. That's why all these disciplines, values are so important. A religious way of living becomes important. Primarily, this emotional mind. Many psychological issues can be solved by simple devotion, surrender, a relationship with a personal God. Therefore, through devotion, karma yoga, values, we make the mind healthy. A healthy mind will let intellect do its job. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is an intellectual job. It has to be done through the intellect only. When you listen to the teacher, your understanding happens in your intellect. And then you reflect upon what you had. You have to use your intellect, because mananam is for the very purpose of removing all your intellectual doubts and questions. So for that intellect to function, it should not be disturbed by an emotional mind. So make sure that the emotional mind does not interfere with your intellectual capabilities. So such a mind is called niyamita manaha, a disciplined mind, regulated mind, controlled mind, a healthy mind, a pure mind. Emotional health alone is not enough, because Vedanta requires the deepest thinking, because moksha is ultimately wisdom. Brahma satyam jagan mitya, jivo brahmaiva. Everything Vedanta says is difficult to assimilate, to understand. Jagan mitya, world is false. That's what Shastra declares. But when I look at the world, it looks so real. You say Brahma Satyam, that Brahman I don't see. You're talking about some Brahman that I can see, I can touch. This world, I can. So whatever my actual experience, just the opposite the Shastra is talking about. So this has to be understood properly, assimilated properly. The tangible world, you say it is unreal. The invisible Brahman, you say it's the only reality. The final bombshell, that Brahman is you. I am that. Huh? How can that be? I know very well who I am. Huh? Nobody else knows what a rascal I am. I've gotten away with all that I've done. Nobody knows. I know. And you say I am Brahman. Huh? Therefore, to accept all this, I require tremendous intellectual conviction. So that buddhi has to be sound for a Vedantic student. Buddhi prasada. You require the grace of the intellect. A rational intellect. A thinking. It should know the language very well. The Shastric Bhasha, you should know. Knowledge is gained through scriptural analysis. With the help and the grace of a sharp intellect, the help of an emotionally healthy mind, may you know the Atma. Where would I know the Atma? He says, Atmani means Buddhao, in the intellect only. Every knowledge takes place in the intellect. Intellect is the locus of any knowledge, be it spiritual or secular. Worldly knowledge or spiritual knowledge, all knowledge takes place in the intellect. Sthula Sharira, physical body, is not the locus of knowledge. Karna Sharira, the embodiment of Ajnana. So, by elimination, the Sukshma Sharira, otherwise called Buddhi, that alone can be the locus of this knowledge. You won't get any knowledge by stopping Buddhi. That is why we say Nirvikalpaka Samadhi cannot produce knowledge. Only Shastra Shravanam is the valid means of knowledge. So Buddhi, that is the locus of this knowledge. Now Jnanapalam. And it is said as Brahma Rupena Samstha. Through this knowledge, may you abide as Brahman. Brahma Rupena as Brahman Samstha. May you be well placed. May you be well established as Brahman. Abide as Brahman. And that means I am akarta, abhokta. Then what will I get? Kritartho bhava. Kritartha means totally fulfilled, totally satisfied. Fulfilled, fulfillment, complete. He is the one who has accomplished all the four Purusharthas. So I am fulfilled. I'm the richest person in the world, with or without money, with house or without house. With a huge ashrama or without any ashrama, with hundreds of disciples, thousands of disciples, or with no disciples. Therefore, kritartho bhava. And by the way of that, samsara sindhu pratara. May you cross samsara sindhu, the ocean of samsara, tara, cross, pratara. Crossover for good. Now, samsara can be defined in many ways. And Shankaracharya defines it as Jani Marana Taranga Apara Samsara Sindhu. The ocean which has the waves of births and deaths. It is aparaha, shoreless. This infinite samsara is endless. It does not leave you. Wherever you go, it's actually inside you. So, with the self-knowledge, may you cross over the ocean of samsara. So, this is the jnana palam. So, this concludes the discussion on Atma. So, we will take up the next topic in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.